Good morning, good afternoon. I would like to share an application I wrote recently, just a couple months before, that helped me learn German language. I was living in German for a couple of months, and I was trying to get certification to get a job. So I didn't find anything on the market that satisfied my needs, so I decided to write my own application. I would like to shortly present it to you, all of its functionalities, how it's built, its backend, its frontend. It's built in as a backends for frontends, and uh, uses AI extensively, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. I'm sure that you will like it too. So, without further ado, let me proceed with the technical background. After the technical background, I will present all of its functionalities to you. So the application is totally secure. It has one backend, which is my virtual private instance, but for €3 monthly, so it's pretty cheap. And front end is deployed in Vercel. Uh, Let me log into Vercel and show it to you. It's called Translator Frontend. For backend, it's Translator Backend. Pretty cool about deployment in Vercel is that the build is triggered by commit. So every time I, of course, test it locally, the application is built as a Svelte app with Vita.js. So you can totally test it locally running dev server. But when I have all my changes prepared and tested, then I can just commit to my GitHub repository. The Vercel scans GitHub repository and triggers the build. So yeah, it's here. I also bought a cheap domain and configured it to point to the Vercel server so that it knows where it is. Let me just quickly find domains. So yeah, it has all of these domains. Uh, the domain it was actually bought with Vercel itself. It has the functionality to buy domains directly from their site. And after an hour or two, it was already running. So it was pretty easy to set it up. The domain costed only $20, so it's also cheap. One cool thing that I noted that when you pick an unpopular name for your domain, then the domains are very cheap. App is the extension that is the cheapest, I think, and it doesn't sound that bad. So it's good to pick something similar to this. This is a good note for me for future to stick to that plan. Mm, so yes, let me now go to the application and show you that it's secured. It's totally secure. Mm, I want to log in. I write in the password. And as you can see, the traffic is HTTPS. And my backend is here. Let me present. Like I mentioned, on my virtual private instance, I have many backends. Caddy is the reverse proxy, and it points by the URL, by the section after the domain. It points to the correct backend. The traffic should go to. So this is how I used it. I used Let's Encrypt certificates to get a certificate to get that traffic, SSL traffic to my backend, and now it's the communication is encrypted. Uh, the front end is written in Svelte. It was a very nice experience to write it in this application because you can directly use like JavaScript. You can directly use JavaScript variables in your markup. So it's pretty easy, and without too much boilerplate. I really like the technology. I used router. I used router for I created the main page, and then I created router for all of the sections, and it reloads the page with different content. So when I push like segment to the URL, it will re-render the UI and render the correct contents. Mm, so yeah, that's it for Svelte, I think. For the backend, it's written in Python because it was the easiest way. I used Fast API as a industry standard. Um, uh, it it has like it works in this way that in front end I have just one public one public address, which is login, and login fetches the gets the password and fetches the API key and stores it in local session. And after this, it gets this local get it from local session to talk to the endpoints. And endpoints, all of them require the API token to actually return the response. It's not straightforward to do it in Fast API, but you do it with middleware. This is where it's done. So this is the logic I mentioned. You check if it's login or login URL. If it's not, then you just require the API key. If there is no API key, then you return unauthorized with a bad request. So this is how it's done. I want to show you one cool thing that I learned along the way. So the cornerstone of the application is translating the short texts, sentence by sentence. And here is the command to the AI. And one thing that I noticed is that AI often makes mistakes if you force it to return JSON format. What I chose instead is actually simplify the format, and this is done like so. So return data in following format. For each line, return original text, separator free hashes, translated counterpart, and break line separator. And after everything is generated, then return end. And this allowed me to parse it pretty easily, and AI haven't made a mistake for a couple of months. So it's easier for AI, it's easier for me, and you don't necessarily have to use JSON to have successful to be successful in talking to API and returning some custom format. So this is one of the learnings that struck me as important. Mm, yeah. So backend is Fast API is a collection of endpoints. Like it's mostly CRUD application. It talks to Postgres, and Postgres uses Pydantic combined with SQL Alchemy. Uh, so you basically Pydantic cutters for typing I think from typing is for some time. Now in Python, by typing in annotations, and basing on this typing annotation, it validates the format with the PostgreSQL that everything is correct. If it's not correct, it just returns the error and the application stops. Uh, yeah, and SQL Alchemy does all of the rest, like inserting and updating. I have a couple of upserts in the application, but I wanted them show but because it's too much specialized, and I don't want to waste your time. So that's it for the technical background. Let me now go to the application itself and show you how it works. So. Uh, You log in with this particular password. As I mentioned, it fetches the API key and talks with this API key to the rest of the endpoints. I made a mistake. Uh, so here is the like there are four basic functionalities: translate, history, vocabulary, and test. And the main functionality is translationary. The application was designed to translate short texts, either scanned from the with the mobile or screenshots from the computer with this button, or you entered manually copy pasted from some websites like magazines or maybe newspapers, and you enter the text, translated text here in this text box. You select the language, and when you enter the text, you click translate, and here we have just one sentence, so you can see only one sentence. But if we had like multiple sentence, then it splits by the common punctuation to the sentences and displays it like so. So the original goes first, then the English translation, and when you hover over each particular word, then it shows three most common translations in English. uh, Believe me for word that when I upload JPEG or PNG file, then it will think for some time and it will paste the text here, and then you just click translate and it will return the content. When you click this button, you can listen the original text in native speech, and it works pretty well. I experimented with speech synthesizers, but the quality was very low. So I decided I will subscribe for Google Voice API, and Google Voice API works really well. You basically can't tell difference between somebody actually reading it and generated speech. So it works very well. It downloads MP3 and JavaScript plays it back in the background. So, but I can't show it to you because I'm using only microphone. But believe me, for word that this works. Uh, so when you translate the text, it appears in the history, and in the history you have like all of the translated texts, and this list contains all of the text I translated preparing for B1 certification for Goethe Institute. This is how it looks like. You can see like you have what I mentioned. You have the original on the top, translation on the bottom. The quality is pretty good. It catches very nuanced and nuanced translations and idioms, and it's actually good to dissect the idioms, looking at each particular word and how they interact with each other. So this is how it looks like. Yeah, if you no longer need the translation, you can always delete it like so. And moving on to the next functionality, you have like the vocabulary list. Each section is a piece of vocabulary, and it's a standard table containing original in some language, like for example, this is German, and three most common translations. If you want, you can enter the word to the table by hand. Let me do it now. If you press this button, it will download it from Google Translation API. So you can see it appeared here. You can add it. If you don't want, you can edit the word. It's good for actually. I made a major mistake when learning German, learning it without articles, nouns without articles. So I needed this functionality to edit all of the words and enter the articles for nouns. So you can edit the entered word, and if you don't need it, you press this button and it will go away. So you can organize your vocabulary in lists and learn each separate list each time. You can add new list, and if you add new list, then one cool feature is available. Let me show you. Like for example, I have this text. Uh, and I don't want to manually enter the word translation to the table. What I can do, I can click this bookmark, and what it does, it saves to the latest list, saves the translation. So that reduces the work significantly, and it's easy to use. If you don't need the list, you can delete it and it will disappear. And later, when you learned all of the words, you read the translation sentence by sentence, listen to it. You can put your knowledge to test. Each list you can select for a test, and if you it will interrogate you, like giving you the translations, and you have to enter the word in the text box. Like I don't remember this word, but maybe I can. Let's see. App name. So when you enter not correct word, you will get the feedback, negative feedback. Offer. Okay, I won't do it now. Maybe it's not my day, but yeah, you can test your knowledge, and of course, that is pretty much it. I think for this. And when you are done, you just click logout. The API key is deleted from the local store, session store in browser. And since you don't have API key, then you will be automatically redirected to the landing page, and this is much it. I won't say this UI is. I won't say this UI is like groundbreaking. It's very simple because I only worked on this application part time and didn't spend so much time to polish all of its rough edges. But I think the functionality is really cool. If you want, you can use it. You've seen the password, so you can use it. The costs are totally up to me because they are not significant. So feel free to experiment with this app. And this is pretty much it I wanted to show you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. um, I uploaded this video to LinkedIn. So if you want to connect with me on talk, maybe you wanna help, or maybe you wanna see some functionality to be added. So contact me in any case, and see you around. Thank you.